What's going on, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. So I want to make this video as I'm stuck in Miami traffic right here. When the bridge goes up and nothing happens down here in Brickell, everyone just piles up and starts honking their horns at each other. And it's kind of how it feels in crypto. So because when you're getting into the markets and you invest into a project, whether it's XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and the most painful thing in the markets is not when the markets are dropping, they're going down. It's when there's sideways, boring, no trading action, and it's leading to an unsure feeling of what's going to happen next. And that happens. There's periods where we go up very fast, and that's exciting. People get greedy, but also you need to be cautious during phases like that, because it's hard to take profits when things are going up, because the greed of, but it could go higher, starts to creep into your mind. And so during the final phase of the bull run, you guys are going to feel that the most. You got to feel a little tinge of that. For those of you that are brand new, this is your first bull run, you got a little taste of that during the past year. 2023 was a bullish year, but we didn't go into parabolic price actions. Sure, there were some projects that, if you were in lower market cap projects, that were seeing 3, 4, 5x gains. Some of those projects we call on this channel, so shout out to those of you guys who caught those, and in our Telegram group on bullrunners.com. But for those of you that didn't get to see those, and you were only holding like projects that had boring sideways trading action, you haven't got to taste that yet. But during the final phase of the bull run leading into 2025, that will more than likely happen, just based on how Bitcoin's market cycle plays out. Now, it could be different. Obviously, anything could happen. Not financial advice. Don't buy, don't sell anything we talk about. But the real key here to understand moving forward and how to prepare yourself during this sideways, boring trading action is you can do one of three things, okay? Number one is you can buy more, knowing that the markets could go down further. They could go down further. So when you're thinking about buying more, the DCA strategy that you have is the best possible approach. So you're not lump summing into a project. For example, like XRP, if XRP is trading sideways, or it could go down even further if Bitcoin sells off, and you put in everything that you have into XRP right now, thinking that it's going to perform well, over the next month, and it goes down even further, then you're left sitting on your bags and you don't have any more to buy that dip. So dollar cost averaging, where you set aside a certain amount of money every single week or every single month to be able to invest in the markets, regardless of wherever the price is on a project, because a DCA strategy on the way down and a DCA strategy, or a dollar cost DCS, right, dollar cost selling strategy, if we want to call it that, on the way out, as you take your profits on the way up towards the tail end of this bull run, will set yourself up long term. Because a big mistake that people make is they lump sum purchase into XRP. So they come in, post lawsuit decision, XRP shoots up to 90 cents, and you look at the indicators, the RSI was drastically overbought. All of the indicators were signaling that we were in overbought territory, and most people enter in the markets, they bought in at 90 cents, and now they're sitting on a 50% loss, pissed off, saying that XRP is a scam, when in reality it was themselves who scammed themselves by not having a solid dollar cost averaging strategy to enter into the markets, and having a solid diversification strategy. They invested more than they could afford to lose. And not only did they invest more than they could afford to lose, they put it in at the wrong time. They didn't look at any of the indicators. They didn't subscribe to the channel or watch any of these videos. And they just bought in because they got excited about the future and didn't have that long-term vision. And so out of those one of three things, number one, right, you could buy more, knowing that it would even go down. So if you're going to buy more, consider dollar cost averaging. It'll give you less emotional stress, and you'll have more money on the sidelines to be able to jump on opportunities, pounce on opportunities when they present themselves, if the markets go even lower. Number two, you can sell. I mean, you can get out of the markets if you want, if it's too boring for you and nothing's happening. And if you sell and it goes down further, then you made a right move. But usually dips get bought up, and then we see the price rebound. In long term, the markets tend to continue to trend upwards, especially in crypto, because the dollar is being debased at the fastest pace in history ever since the dollar was taken off the gold standard in the 1970s, and taken off gold, backed by the petrodollar and credit cards and stuff. That's when the stock market went crazy, and now the crypto market's going crazy, and precious metals have gone up. So if you're just going to sit there and hold cash on the sidelines, and if you want to sell, then you have to be okay with losing bare minimum, this is best case scenario, guys, 2% of your spending power every single year. That's the Fed's goal. That's their goal. That doesn't mean we're even at that. So most likely case scenario is 10% real inflation on what you're losing every single year. So if you just, let's say you sold 100K out of the markets and you're just letting it sit on the sidelines and you're not planning on re-entering and you just want to be in cash right now, well, then you're going to lose $10,000 in spending power over the next 12 months, 12 to 24 months. And when you go into the grocery store, you know, the price of goods are going up, the value of your dollar is going down. And so crypto is not necessarily that industry that you get into to make money, even though that's possible. It's an industry you get into to preserve the value of your money. Similar to why the stock market was around. People didn't get in the stock market to make money. They got in the stock market to preserve their money because it was outpacing inflation. And so that's why Bitcoin shouldn't even be considered a currency. It's an asset, right? So it's a crypto asset to preserve your wealth long term in the world of the collapse of the dollar. And so if you're selling, just know that you want to beat inflation. So if you're going to sell out of crypto, you have to put into something else that would beat inflation. And if you guys want to see our top recommendations for that, make sure you're subscribed on bullrunners.com. We have some exciting stuff dropping soon with our financial education platform, among many other things that we're working on. But that's option 2. Okay, so you need to know where to move that money. Some good options could be real estate. Maybe you will believe in precious metals. Maybe there's some dividend-based high APY stocks that you want. You know, personally, I think crypto, precious metals, and real estate are the best 3. And number 3, what you could do is you could hold, and you could just hold and be in this for the long haul and not need to worry about your portfolio because you have passive income on the front end. You're focusing on your production, on what you're producing, and you're building something on the side of your job. Because Jim Rohn said it best. He said, you know, formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. And, you know, unfortunately, people's formal education is not making them a living anymore because they could get jobs with a college degree that they could have gotten straight out of high school. And there's much more opportunity now that we live in the information age, the social media age. So opportunity to build something on the side of your job is endless. There's so many things that you can do. You could start a side hustle in 2024. Now is the best possible time to do that. If you guys want to learn how to do that, you can go to bullrunners.com. But the main thing about holding, if you invested more than you could afford to lose and you're holding, then it's stressful because then you're worried about your portfolio too much because you don't have enough money in your bank account to cover your bills, or you don't have enough passive income on the front end to be able to cover your basic necessities. And so that's why it's so important to have income on the front end coming in through a business, obviously your job, right? If you're taking all of your money from your job and investing in the markets and you don't have enough to pay your rent, and then you have to liquidate and you're being forced to sell. See, a lot of people in these markets, they don't choose to sell out of their own personal decision. They are forced to sell because they have to pay their rent, and they're basically liquidated to survive on this planet. Because as human beings, we're the only species that has to pay money to live on this planet. Think about that for a second. Dogs don't have to pay, cats don't have to pay, plants don't have to pay. Every other species doesn't have to pay money to live. We have to pay. And so the matrix was designed that way to keep you trapped. So how do you get out of the matrix being the crypto market if you're just going in, you're YOLOing your income from your job into a meme coin, hoping to strike it rich? Well, there's some key core investing principles that you can follow that billionaires follow. And if you just do what they do, you say what they say, then over time, the likelihood, I don't want to say you're guaranteed, but the likelihood of you getting at least a fraction of what they get is higher than you not getting a fraction of what they get. So if someone makes, let's say, $5 billion a year, well, if you follow their advice, do you think that it's possible? Let me know by liking this video. Comment 777 below if you think it's possible for you to at least get a fraction of what they got, like $5 million a year, $500,000 a year, if you follow their advice. Well, if the answer is no, then why is that answer no? Could it be your laziness? Could it be a limiting belief? You really have to ask yourself, if the answer is no, is your thought the truth for that? Or is it a limiting belief? Like, for example, well, I'm not good looking enough. I'm not well spoken enough. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the information. If those are the answers, then 99.9%, arguably 100% of the time, it's a limiting belief. Because not here to give you a big pump up call in a motivational speech here, but sometimes you need it. You're God's highest form of creation, right? You can do whatever you want to do. You beat out millions of sperm to get on this planet. So you have the ability to start any type of business you want to start, to make any type of income you want to make. I mean, look at Warren Buffett. Not the freaking Brad Pitt of the investing space, not the best looking guy. He's well spoken, and he's not, you know, any particular genius in terms of his physical appearance, but he has some certain strengths that have allowed him to amass massive amounts of income. There's other people out there, I can give you countless examples, that had all of the odds stacked against them, where they started with nothing. Immigrants, you know, coming in this country, not like what's happening at the Texas border, but like people that come over here legally and they make their way up from the bottom. You know, they start out at a job, maybe they're some janitor, maybe they're flipping burgers, maybe they're sweeping the storeroom floor, and they start out, then they start a side hustle, they start a business, you know, they get into real estate, they get into investing, they start learning the ropes from the start. And once you see them finally become successful, you can never use an excuse like, oh, they just got lucky, or oh, their investments just paid off and they just got lucky, when, you know, they've been working their ass off for 10 years. And so you got to start today. That's why the best time to plant a tree was obviously 20 years ago. When's the second best time? Today. So if you didn't plant the tree of investing in Microsoft, Apple, Tesla, Google back in the 70s and 80s, well, the second best time to invest in the markets is today, but it might not be in those same companies because that tree has already sprouted the fruits. You want to be investing in the seeds that have yet to sprout. Now, what are those seeds? Well, it's the projects like XRP. When you look at the market cap of a project like this, it's at 30-something billion dollars. That might seem like a lot of money, but when you look at the gross debt in the United States, guys, it's how much money? It's $34 trillion. Look at the global debt. It's over $200 trillion. You look how much is in derivatives out there, arguably in the quadrillions, over $1 quadrillion in derivatives. And Ripple as a company has positioned their technology to be able to bridge the liquidity globally from banks, financial institutions, payment providers, and they have partnered with the largest financial institutions in the world. And so if everything lines up the way that people think it's going to line up, then XRP could perform well. Now, it doesn't mean that's the only thing that you should hold, right? A lot of people watch these videos and they see we make videos about XRP every day, but we do cover the news about lots of different stuff in the crypto market, whether it's other projects or macro financial news, what the Fed is doing to pay attention to what's going to happen overall to these markets. But if you guys are following what the billionaire's advice is, right? Never invest more than you can afford to lose, okay? That's one of the biggest ones. Diversification is key. So being able to diversify it across different projects in the space, but not overly diversified, right? You're not going to go into like 100 different projects if you're new and put $100 into 100 different crap coins, hoping to strike it rich. You want to have high conviction plays, and those high conviction plays are those companies that are rock solid, right? For example, like Chainlink. Chainlink is another rock solid play that I believe in long term. XLM, another rock solid play. HBAR, rock solid play. Algorand, rock solid play. There's so many other projects that I believe are rock solid plays that I'm personally diversified into. Now, that doesn't mean that you should do your due diligence, figure out what are the high conviction plays for you on what you believe in, and diversify across them, because some of these projects, guys, you know, are going to move quicker than others while some stay stagnant. Case in point is what's happened with, you know, like Solana versus XRP, or Bitcoin versus XRP. Bitcoin was seeing a rally upwards of 49K leading into the ETF approval, while as XRP was seeing a sell-off even with the clarity of the lawsuit. And so people were buying into the rumors of the ETF for Bitcoin, and people were selling out of XRP because there's still the settlement agreement that needs to be dealt with for the lawsuit where Ripple needs to pay some money. But once that's over and Bitcoin is halved, and, you know, Ripple starts announcing things like their IPO, whether there's an XRP ETF or not remains to be seen. Maybe they have much bigger plans, and that's why Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, has denied it and said, like, you know, I'm not going to speak on that, because they know that there probably is not going to be an ETF, because XRP will be the bridge currency for global liquidity for trillions of dollars. Maybe that's the game plan there. And so that way they can't say that there's going to be an ETF. And even Brad Garlinghouse was asked that in Davos, and he said there will be other ETFs. He's like, but an XRP ETF? And he's like, there will be other ETFs. He didn't say yes, he didn't say no. So it shows they're planning something big. So if you guys believe that XRP will do that, then maybe it's smart to consider holding some. Not your life savings, not more than like 5 or 10% of your net worth if you're, 50, 60, 70 years old. But if you're younger, I can afford some more risk. And the reason why is because I'm focused more than ever before on developing skills that are going to pay the bills, skills that are going to generate passive income, so I don't have to worry about my portfolio going up or down. So I can just hold long term and not need to stress out about it, because let's say we see another flash crash like COVID, another black swan event, if that's possible, which it very well is because of Disease X, World War III, election interference, who knows, right? Anything could happen. If that's the case, well, then I have to ask myself, do I have the skills to pay the bills? Because in order for things in my life to change, I have to change things in my life. The government's not going to do it for me. Joe Biden certainly as hell is not going to do it for me. Donald Trump, he gets elected, is not going to do it for me. No political person getting in office is going to do it from me. Nothing's going to change except for me making the change. So let me ask you this. In order for things in your life to change, who's going to change them? You have to be the one to change the things in your life. And I know that's not what you want to hear. And you're like, oh, well, another motivational speech here. But this is the most profound thing I ever heard. If it is to be, it's up to me. It's not up to anybody else, okay? You have to take full responsibility of all of your actions, and by default, you will get the results, not that you want, but the results that you deserve. And what you deserve, if you're not happy with the life that you have and you don't have the results that you want right now, well, it's because you've gotten exactly what you deserve. And if you have the results that you want, well, then guess what? That's exactly what you deserve. The universe, God, is very simple being. God may seem super complex to comprehend because God's everywhere at all times, at every moment, and is all that ever is, all that ever was, and doesn't operate in the constructs of time, right? For our tiny little human minds to understand. But God is also very simple as well too, and God will reward you for the seeds that you plant and the water that you give the seeds, the sunlight that you give the seeds. And so if that is your skill set, well, then first you change your mindset, then you focus on your skill set, and then you get the physical results from that. So I hope you guys got value out of that. In these markets right now, in the volatility that takes place, focus on your skills, focus on your mindset, focus on doing something productive today to learn a skill to generate passive income. And if it is with us, then you go to bullrunners.com, because you know what we're doing, guys. Every single day, we're backing up our truck all the way to the banks, grabbing the bags, packing them and stacking them, leaving no bags left behind, because we believe the spending power of the dollar is going to continue to go down in value. That's a fact based on inflation. Blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology is going up in interest. That's the truth. And together, we're going camping on the beaches of the moon. So I will see you on the next video. I will see you on bullrunners.com, where you'll learn our top ways to create income online. As always, stay bullish.